What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and I know I have a lot of viewers that enjoy a lot of different games, whether it's card games like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Weiss Schwartz, or something of similar, or it's board games, or miniatures like Warhammer 40K, video games, wide variety of games. I try to look out for all of you. And this is a story that unfortunately has slipped below my radar, and I'm sorry for that. It seems like Games Workshop and the team behind Warhammer 40K has been up to some spicy anti-consumer behavior. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a particular tactic they've used on YouTube to remove the name Warhammer from any monetized channels, as well as some of the other issues that are going on in the Warhammer campaign. No sponsor for this video, but I thought I would point out that if you're logged in and you're watching your favorite YouTuber's video, maybe it's me, maybe I'm not your favorite, but I'm someone that you like, there's a join button right here. When you click join, you can pick from a wide variety of options that support that YouTuber. It's just like a Twitch subscription, only better because YouTube gives us a bigger chunk than Twitch does. Please consider backing your favorite content creator today in that manner. Now, Arch Warhammer is somebody that I've known for a very long time. I haven't talked to him in, almost a year, because I left a mutual Discord that we're in. Not because of anything that was going on, but really more so it was my own personal thing, because I felt bad because people would be sending me messages and I wouldn't log into Discord for a week or two, and I felt like I was letting people down. So I just left Discord in general. Otherwise, I would have known about this. Apparently, Games Workshop has now demanded any YouTuber who includes the word Warhammer in their title to remove it. Absolutely absurd. And it looks like it's worked, because I've gone through a wide variety of articles. I'm sorry, other YouTube channels, and I've found zero other YouTube channels that still have Warhammer in the name. I thought maybe it was something that they were going after Arch in particular, because, you know, he has some, how do I say, spicy opinions. But it doesn't look like that. I actually want to pull up Warhammer community team, and I want to go back to, boy, this might be forever. They put out a post, essentially, let's get to it, saying Warhammer is for everyone. One of the greatest powers of our hobby is its ability to bring people together with a common cause, to build bonds and friendships that cross divides. We believe in and support a community united by shared values of mutual kindness and respect. Wait for it. Our fantasy settings are grim and dark, but that's not a reflection of who we are and how we feel the real world should be. We will never accept nor condone any form of prejudice, hatred, or bad behavior in our community or in the Warhammer hobby. We will continue to diversify the cast of characters we portray through miniatures, art, storytelling, so everyone can find representation and heroes they can relate to. And if you feel the same way, wherever and whomever you are, we're glad you're part of the Warhammer community. Everything good up until this portion, right? Everything good right here. Last sentence. And if you're not, you will not be missed. Warhammer is for everyone, as long as you agree with our own political opinions. Now, as I scroll back on their timeline, I should have pulled up this tweet on my own, but I know it's on June 4th. It won't take long. It's reminded of my own interactions with the Magic the Gathering community. Wizards of the Coast is an extremely progressive company, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with companies using their earnings to donate to causes that they find important. It's their money. There's nothing wrong with companies using their platform to let people know about things that they believe in. But there are negatives to it. There are, of course, there's backfires to that. And in the throes of early June, when everybody, and I mean every major company out there, was going out of their way to basically virtue signal and say, hey, we are, we're inclusive unless, we don't agree with your ideas. It's exactly like what I experienced in Magic the Gathering. And I guess I just wasn't paying attention because, or I, if I was in that Discord group, I would have known. In general, is there anything super offensive in that message? No. But the problem is companies shouldn't be doing this at all. Imagine, if you will, going to your local hot dog vendor, except hot dogs cost $75 per hot dog. That's, just to give it that Warhammer appropriate pricing. And then that hot dog vendor told you, hey, if you don't agree with my personal political beliefs or the political beliefs of my company, I don't want to sell you hot dogs anymore. Certainly, that's their right. And I'm never going to argue against a company's right to be stupid. But I am going to point out that it doesn't play well in the community. The community doesn't like when big, super huge mega corporations decide that they want to get involved in personal politics or, things of that matter. And we actually saw this with Wizards of the Coast back during the 2016 election. They went out of the way to sign some anti-Donald Trump thing or pro-Hillary Clinton document. And it was cringe. I remember reporting on it at the time thinking, don't you think Trump voters play Magic the Gathering? And all it does is create a ton of division inside the community. Then those who feel like they have had their own personal beliefs or their biases reinforced by a company now start witch hunts looking to push anyone out. And all it does is throw the community into untold levels of division. And that's exactly what's happening in the Warhammer community. That's what happens when you decide that you want to go out and pontificate. You want to tell your customers who's allowed to be there and who's not allowed to be there. And again, is their message in particular a bad one? No. But and you can see even the reply here on June 4th, 13,000 likes, 968 comments. I wouldn't exactly say that that's ratioed, but you see, sell paint, not politics. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Have fun with whatever it is you twist Warhammer into. I hope it's worth it. I've seen utterly unself-aware people time and time again openly professing that they believe Warhammer 40K's thesis statement is good, not realizing it's supposed to be satire. It's good to start ridding our hobby of it. Again, all this does is divide your community. While I'm full in agreement with the sentiments behind this message, I can't help but shake the feeling that this is more than lip service. There's a little more than lip service. It goes to openly advocate for inclusiveness and goodwill. It's another to make tangible sacrifices to advance those principles. What, like banning people? And so a letter writing campaign began. Arch Warhammer launches email campaign to Games Workshop to save Warhammer. YouTuber Arch Warhammer and has called his followers to launch an email campaign targeted at Games Workshop to save Warhammer from political infiltration and subversion. Arch's call for an email campaign comes after the Warhammer community Twitter account shared a Warhammer is for everyone message following weeks of political demonstrations. This is going back to June. The statement read, we already read that, it continued, blah, blah, blah. Now, Arch issued his rallying call on a YouTuber where he began, we all knew this day was coming. It's sadly somewhat inevitable these days, is it not? Unfortunately, the infiltration, the subversion, and the politicization of hobbies has been pretty darn common occurrence over the last few years. He added, I've predicted it. Many of you have as well. And again, it was hardly a difficult prediction. We've seen it happen in video games. We've seen it happen in movies. We've seen it happen to Marvel. We've seen it happen to Star Wars. And now it's happening to Warhammer. Archer then details in one last shot to save Warhammer. He explains, I think we have one last chance to send a bit of a warning shot across the bow of Games Workshop simply to say stay out of it. Don't get involved. Stay neutral. Simply keep producing the universe and the miniatures that we all love, and we will be happier for it. And I agree with this statement 100%. Now, I don't think the statement that Warhammer made is particularly inflammatory, but at the same time, Sell paint, not politics. What an excellent, excellent line. He continued, you don't have to get involved. We don't expect you as a company to have a moral position on today's political issues. Keep politics where it belongs in the real world. Let us have our escapism. Let us have our Warhammer. Arch then suggested an email campaign targeted at Games Workshop. He elaborates that I also suggest emailing Games Workshop because, believe me, 5 emails about the same subject matter will raise attention. 10 will start alarms ringing. 100, 1,000, they will notice, believe you me. Now, there are a lot of people willingly talking about, you know, how these type of things, just like change.org petitions, they don't generally lead to a lot of change. And that's fair to say. In most cases, that's exactly true. But I will tell you, in my limited experience, it has worked for me. Remember back when we found out that there was a disgusting element in the Magic the Gathering Judge program? You know what we did? We launched a letter writing campaign. We picked up the phone. We called Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast boss, because Wizards of the Coast, never forget this, refused to root these monsters from their community. And we went to Hasbro. People picked up the phone. People picked up emails. And guess what happened? We got ourselves national background checks of the Magic the Gathering Judge program and likely rooting out more than 100 of these people on the list that nobody wants to be on, because my small team found over a dozen. Certainly, that number is probably close to 100 nationwide. And it worked. So it can work. And it looks like it already is. YouTuber Arch Warhammer provided an update for his email campaign to Games Workshop in order to save Warhammer from political infiltration. Earlier this week, we talked about that. The message saw Warhammer community team tell longtime fans to abandon their hobby if they disagree with the company's new touted politics. And again, this opinion that they're spouting isn't exactly super divisive, but they shouldn't be saying anything like this. In response to this message, Arch Warhammer encouraged his followers to send emails to Games Workshop customer service at custserve@gwplc.com. He provided an email template. He continued, we're all brought together by a common love for these deep, dark, and complex worlds. It superseded our differences and united us with a common love for games and the universe in all of its grim glory. Now, he begins an update saying we're already having some excellent effect on target. Yes, we are indeed. So a bit of morale boost is in order. Within hours of launching the campaign, we managed to make the Games Workshop customer support page go belly up. He added, and it shows that there are a lot of people out there that do indeed agree that Warhammer is for everyone. And no, we don't want your nonsense politics in this. Keep your real life nonsense out of our hobby. There are plenty of people that agree with that sentiment, and it's awesome to see. I also agree with that sentiment. I don't really care what someone's opinions are about, you know, Arch or anybody, you know, in particular. I think we can all agree that, you know, we just want our hot dog salespeople to sell hot dogs. It's that simple. He also thanks those who are participating in the campaign. By the way, if you agree, I think you should participate in it as well. Thank you all very much for everyone sent out email. You are the reason why we're having this effect right now. It's all you guys, and it's beautiful. Arch will continue the video explaining what campaign's current status was and where it will go from here. He begins detailing that the campaign is already facing some hurdles, and it has been removed from Facebook groups and other forums. A lot of people have been trying to post this to various Facebook groups and so on. It keeps getting sent to other YouTubers, and in many cases, they've just been shut down or deleted immediately. Sadly, we knew this was going to happen. Quote, we are fighting against people who now think censorship is just fine. They don't mind censoring people. They don't mind shutting them down. They don't mind deleting them. They are pro these things, it appears, to be fundamental cornerstone of their political beliefs. If you don't agree with them, it's entirely okay to attack you. It's entirely okay to censor you. It's entirely okay to delete you. It's entirely okay to yell at you, because as far as they're concerned, you're barely even human, essentially. And again, I encourage people, just like Arch does, to visit Game Workshop's customer service page if you play Warhammer, or to email them directly and let them know to keep modern day politics out of their game. I mean, I don't know if, look, there's not a lot in their message to disagree with. But the fact of the matter is that the message exists is already causing division. And that's why you don't cram modern politics into our escapism. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.